World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. From the banks of the Three Rivers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Braves go for a 3-game sweep on a beautiful day for baseball here at PNC Park. It could be a very productive day for the Braves, who picked up a game on the Mets last night. New York is idle today. If the Braves sweep the Pirates, we'll head to St. Louis, just a game and a half out of first place. Hi again, everybody, with Paul Bird, Brian Jordan, Chip Carey. Great to be with you for Braves baseball. BJ, the winning ways continue for the Braves in the month of August. A chance for a sweep here at PNC Park.
Just another series win last night, but you know what? The Braves are playing great baseball at the right time of the year. 13-2, best in the majors since August 9th. This offense has been incredible, and the pitching has really stepped up. This is the type of baseball we saw last year when the Braves went on that World Championship run and couldn't get it done without pitching, Paul.
You're absolutely right. A lot of great stories on this team. Kyle Wright at the top of the list, really coming into his own. Look at those last 7 starts, fantastic. How about the strike rate, 70%? Cannot get much better. Trademark curveball, this stadium, this lineup, this offense clicking. I like his chances today.
Runs came in bunches for the Braves last night. Let's see if they can score early and often for Kyle Wright, who looks to win his 16th game for the Braves this season. It is the series finale. Atlanta goes for another sweep. The Braves and Buccos battle next on Bally Sports from Pittsburgh.
Local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It is a glorious day in Pittsburgh, where the Braves wrap up our season series with the Pirates. Atlanta's won every single game played head-to-head between these teams so far. In fact, the Braves are looking for their 9th series sweep of the season. All of those guys have came after the 1st of June, when this Atlanta team has taken off under Brian Snitker. And as we mentioned briefly in our opening comments, the Yankees helped us out. They beat the New York Mets last night. We start play today just 2 games out of first, and if Ronald and this Toyota starting lineup does what we hope, we could be a game and a half back heading into the off day in St. Louis tomorrow.
You know, the Braves are handling business, and they're beating the teams that they're supposed to. And we saw that happen last year, and we saw the end result. Hopefully they can continue on this roll throughout September also.
If you missed the game last night, the Braves had a 5-run inning, and something happened in that frame, guys, that we'd never seen before. 9 batters, 3 outs, 5 runs, and the Braves did that damage in 20 pitches. I mean, you talk about offense in lightning fast fashion. That's exactly what the Braves did in game 2.
And it came from just making adjustments. You saw the first time around, Drew Baker was on the mound very quick, throwing a bunch of sliders away, strikeout after strikeout. Well, the next time around, those guys did not take that first pitch. They hit the sliders out, hit the sliders the other way, and it was hit after hit. That's how you win ball games.
Talking to the Pirates here today, not just the fans, but also the guys in their press box, and they say, man, you guys are the best team we have seen in a long, long time. It's just gotten to the point, it doesn't matter who throws against you or who you have take the mound, you're expecting a win.
So with that in mind, Brian, what are your Ford keys for the Braves to polish off the Pirates and complete the 3-game sweep?
Well, Mitch Keller's going to come at him with the fastball 4-seam, so he gets it up there in velocity, so you got to be ready to hit the heater. As far as pitching, hey, get ahead. We saw that formula work last night with Max Fried. Get ahead, put him away late, and you'll have success.
Mitch Keller's 4-9 on the year, a sub-5 ERA. From what we've been told, Birdie, this guy's getting the ball on the ground a lot more. He's a sinker ball guy. Hopefully Atlanta can get him to elevate and hit a couple home runs today in game 3.
No, you got it. Forget about the numbers. He's been better. Even his last outing was very poor, but in general, the last 2 months, he's added that sinker, like you said, Chip, and been better. When you can throw a 4-seam and hit 100 miles an hour, it's very tempting. So you got to locate that sinker, and against this Braves offense, you don't get a break.
Here's a weird number. Keller has not won a home game yet this year. In fact, he's not won a game on his home mound since May 29th of last year, which again is a trend we hope continues as the Braves look to pull to within a game and a half of the idle New York Mets. Got to talk about Max Fried's performance in the game yesterday. All the talk was about the offense. How great was Max Fried as he dominated Pittsburgh last night.
It is unbelievable. He is really another pitcher who just gets better each year. Changeup was fantastic last night. You see Mitch Keller's pitch arsenal. There's that good four-seam fastball we talked about. Does throw the sinker a lot now too. Slider, curve, change.
So Keller will try to salvage one game for the Pirates in this series. The Braves red hot, 13-2 in their last 15 games, averaging almost 6 runs a game in this 15-game stretch. And the action starts with Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off. Ronald's had a good series, 3 for 9 so far here at PNC Park. And the first pitch is on the ground right into the shift, and that takes care of Ronald to start game 3.
Well, we talk about the hitters being aggressive, swinging at that first pitch, trying to ambush Keller right off the bat. Good play up the middle.
Alex Tossi, by the way, will be the home plate umpire. We'll keep an eye on his strike zone for Keller and Kyle Wright. Here's Dansby Swanson, 1 for 8 in the series. Dansby hustled down the line in that 5th inning, and the Braves got another run as a result. So Swanson, 69 ribbies, 16 homers, and a .290 average.
That's a great point, Chip. Swanson on my all-hustle team, deceptive speed. He doesn't necessarily look as fast as somebody else running, but when you click that stopwatch, he can fly.
Not just the all-hustle team, but the Iron Man team also.
Yeah.
Day after day, he's in that lineup. You can't pull him out.
Fly ball hit well toward right, but that's going to be playable for Gamble. He's got it with those golden shoes. And Dansby Swanson's retired. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 1st inning. And Austin Riley will be your batter.
Good to see Austin get a couple of RBIs yesterday, take a walk his first at bat. He did get a single. So hopefully he's trending back in the right direction. He's been struggling lately.
He's cooled off a bit, 6 for his last 33, including his good work last night. But Riley up to 80 RBIs. He's hit 31 homers. And Mitch Keller misses low. Ball 1. Braves have won 8 series. They have 8 sweeps since June the 1st. That is how you play championship baseball, and it was a struggle, as you know, until June 1 for the Braves. They hadn't won 3 in a row or lost 3 in a row until they took off in June with that torrid 14-game winning streak. And now the Braves have trimmed a Mets divisional lead from 10.5 games to 2 games with more than a month of baseball left. Keller ready. His pitch is up and away.
Nice and easy 96.
Right over the top.
Went to the pitching lab in North Carolina where he was throwing 101, 102. So that's the max that's in that tank.
Last start for Keller, 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, but he gets Austin Riley to swing and a miss. Here in the 1-2-3 top half of the 1st inning, Kyle Wright, 15-game winner, goes to work against the Pirates for the first time next. The Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 47-76 on the year. Been a rough rebuild for the Pirates over the last couple of years, but they're pinning high hopes on the young man leading off for them. 6'7" shortstop O'Neill Cruz, who leads off the Toyota starting 9 for the Buccos. Atlanta's done a good job of handling Brian Reynolds, who torched us back in Atlanta, and that'll be job number 1 for Kyle Wright, who seeks victory number 16 this year for the Braves. Wow, what a year.
What a year. Thankful for that good curveball and sinker that gets the ball on the ground. That's what happens. A lot of double plays when he gets it down there. And as we showed you earlier, 70% strike rate in his last 7, filling up the zone. The big fella.
O'Neill Cruz takes outside, and Kyle's day is underway. Mentioned the hopes of the Pirates for O'Neill Cruz. One thing he's got to work on, putting the ball in play. He is a big swing and miss guy. And Kyle Wright's a guy that can do that to you. 136 strikeouts for Wright in 124 innings.
Guys, I got a tip before the game about Cruz and his speed, which selfishly I want to see that speed.
Almost got to.
Almost got to, but you know what? They were comparing him first to third to the cheetah, Tariq Hill. Are you kidding me? But they said analytical speed. That was the comparison. So I have to see this kid run because we all know the cheetah can fly.
Cruz has talked about the learning curve at the major league level, understanding what his strike zone is and then matching that with what the opponent's pitching staff is trying to do with him. Breaking balls have been a big problem. And there you go, a swing and a miss. Cruz is down on strikes and Wright has out number one.
It's so good. And guys, today he's going to try to throw it a little bit harder. Talking to him in the locker room, he said, Paul, sabermetrically, when I throw the ball a little bit harder with that curve ball, even though it's kind of harder to control, it's more effective. So I want to stay between 82 and 87 on my curve, nice and in there, and then go for the strikeout. There's his arsenal. You can see very complete. He uses everything.
Kevin Newman, first pitch swing, deep short, sliding stop and a perfect throw. Gorgeous play. Dansby Swanson.
Unbelievable, man. The work that he puts in, he makes that play look so easy. The backhand and how quickly he gets the ball from his glove to his hand is amazing to me.
Even when he came to the sliding stop, you could see the work with Wash going to the ball with the glove. That's scoop.
Yep. Going forward at all times with that glove. Man.
That was even quick in slow motion.
So Bryan Reynolds hits with the bases empty. 1 for 8 is he in the series. Braves made some adjustments on the switch hitting center fielder who went 10 for 15 at the plate back in Atlanta in the 4-game series when we last saw the Pirates. 20 homers, 46 driven in for Reynolds.
It has to be tough for a guy like Reynolds. You know, the talent that he has, the consistency he has with the Pirates so far with this young rebuild. I mean, how do you maintain that? That is pretty tough to do. But he finds a way every year, gets it done.
On the ground, right to Grissom at second, and Kyle Wright with a couple of ground ball outs is off to a good start for the Braves. We move to the second inning at PNC Park. For Childhood Cancer Awareness Day at Truist Park on Friday, September 2nd. A special day honors those who are currently fighting or who have courageously battled childhood cancer. Fighters and survivors get 2 free tickets and a special t-shirt. For all the details, go to Braves.com and learn more. Keller and Wright, BJ, were pretty efficient, wouldn't you say, in that first inning?
Yes, they were. What, 8 pitches apiece? Getting it done.
Getaway day game. You guys know the rules.
Be aggressive at the plate.
Matt Olson 0 for 8 in the series, tries to change that here, leading off the Braves second. Something else we got to change. Braves got to start playing better in day games. It's been kind of a weird split for the Atlanta club. And a quick turnaround after a 2-hour 15-minute game last night. That was great for everybody as this ball is cracked toward left. Long run, Marcano to the track and wall, can't get it. That's going to bounce off the base of the fence, and Matt Olson has the game's first hit. An opposite field double to straightaway left.
Wow, that ball just kept running away from Marcano. I'm surprised he gave up on this ball. I mean, that's one of the toughest plays, going away from the left field. Ball is always going to track the line. But he gave up at the last second. He thought the wall was there.
I don't know that he saw it.
He almost overran the ball.
Bounced right behind him.
So the first scoring chance is for William Contreras, who is the Braves catcher today. Williams got a hit in 13 of his last 15 games for the Braves. 32 RBIs thanks to 16 home runs. Smoke to center and deep. Reynolds back, and it is gone. A line drive homer. 2-0 Atlanta. This guy's incredible.
Unbelievable. 17th home run of the season.
In 238 at bats.
That's a good pitch. That's a slider away. Down.
Boy, did he stay back perfectly on that ball.
Smokes it out to center.
We talk about his power being right center field. I mean, he's a strong man, guys. I watch him in batting practice. He can put it out there in that water. He's that strong.
So the Braves all-star William Contreras hits his 17th home run, a 2-run shot, and the Braves score first. That's oftentimes a good omen for Atlanta. Where the Braves score the first run in the game, they're only 47 games over 500, 57-10 on the year.
They heard you talking about him in day games.
Man, well, that's.
They said, okay.
Win today, you go to 19-23 under natural light. Eddie Rosario 0 for 3 in the series. He's the Braves' designated hitter today. Didn't get that one up around the collarbone. 2 strikeouts for Keller. First out in the second inning. Here's Vaughn Grissom. Dominique Wilkins might be the only guy who's scored more than Vaughn Grissom in Atlanta sports history. I mean, this guy's unbelievable.
How about this 420 average, guys? Man. 3 hits last night. Showing the veterans how to do it. Go the other way.
First 3-hit game as a big leaguer. And how about this, guys? 14 major league games. He scored 14 runs.
And he's such an aggressive runner. Does not take anything lightly.
I'll tell you what, I like him in the locker room. Walking around smiling, just having fun.
Yeah.
Very happy to be here, yet works very hard and contributes. I think there's a fine line between a rookie wanting to be here, liking to be here, just happy to be here, and yet when the game starts, being an impact player.
Little pop into shallow center. O'Neal Cruz will make that catch chest high. Grissom's retired. Second out of the inning. And Michael Harris is coming up. You know what else has been fun? In this Braves lineup, Atlanta has 2 of the 3 youngest players in the major leagues. And they're not just placeholders. They are productive players and difference-making players. You could quite honestly make the case that the kid in the batter's box could be the MVP of this Braves team in limited duty. Brian?
You're right. You know, when he came up, it was a different team. And he just doesn't do it with the bat. He does it with the defense. I think that was the biggest thing that turned the season around for the Braves. Having a center fielder that the starters, bullpen can rely on.
You remember the dive when Andrew Jones was watching and he dove and one of his legs was twisted behind the other one and he caught it with his hand instead of his glove, which was right there. And Andrew said, wow. I think that was a moment we realized this guy's pretty special.
And then his being able to adjust the way he does is the most amazing thing to me. Working with Kevin Seitzer, willing to listen, willing to change. That's the hard part when you get a young guy coming up who's hot in the minors. He's not open to changing. Things been going well for him, but not Michael Harris.
A 1-2 pitch is swung at. It was in the dirt, and that'll retire the side. Keller made a good pitch. Contreras made a better swing. A line drive home run to straightaway center. And after Matt Olson's double, the Braves lead 2-0 after 1.5.
Lead. Kyle Wright back out after a very efficient opening frame, and you may remember this is his second start after having been pushed back with arm fatigue. And following that last outing against Houston, in which he pitched really well, he said, "I felt a lot better, a lot stronger." He mentioned his velo being back to where he wanted it to be. 96 with the sinker, didn't really fall below 92, guys. And he went on to say, "That's where I want to be in this week," reiterated how good he feels, and then pointed to that Miami series, guys, and said that might be a pivotal point in this season that we talk about down the stretch. Sorry, just want to make sure Dansby got that pop-up. He did. Okay, so down the stretch, if this rotation is all feeling well, you think about Spencer Strider, who's never really done this as far as like pitching deep into October. And Kyle made it a point to talk about those minor league innings being a lot different than major league innings. So I thought it was great. He pointed out how big, when you talk about Elder, Anderson, and Mueller, were that weekend in Miami.
Kelly, that's a great report. That's exactly what Brian Snitker said to me before the start of this series. It was a risky move for the Braves, but one they felt they needed to make to give Fried and Morton and Wright that extra breather. And now the way this road trip sets up, you've got a day off tomorrow, 3 against the Cardinals, another day off at home on Monday. So some more built-in rest for the Braves, who then begin the pennant push in September. Right now, his stuff is electric. 5 up, 5 down, 2 strikeouts. Ke'Bryan Hayes is out number 2.
There's something about, as a starting pitcher, you not wanting to tell anybody that you're tired. That goes for during the season in between starts, and it goes for when you're out on the hill in the 7th. Your manager comes out and says, "How you doing?" as we see this nasty curve go straight down out of the zone. And you don't want to say, "Hey, I'm tired." You don't want to get the label of, "Oh, this guy's not a tough guy," or, you know, he won't give you everything he has. But then Max Fried said something to him, and he said, "Hey, who would you rather have in the game? You tired, or a very amped up and ready to go fresh AJ Minter, or someone else in that pen down there?" And he said, "Don't be selfish. Be unselfish. Turn that ball over." And I think Kyle Wright told the truth and said, "Hey, my arm's a little fatigued."
And that makes sense. Coming into the season, Kyle Wright had a total of 70 major league innings in the regular season. He's doubled that. He's at 141 2/3 entering this second inning.
And you know who I think is benefiting more? Dylan Lee over this last couple of days, because he was, to me, on that homestand, every day we saw Dylan Lee, and that's one of those young guys, Paul, that won't step up and say, "I'm fatigued." But you could see it in his last outing and on that homestand. He just didn't have it.
Overall for the year, Dylan Lee has been excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, but you could tell, as you said, a little fatigued. Talked to Matzik as well. His arm's bouncing back a little bit. He feels good.
Yeah, I talked to Matzik too before we got on the road trip, and he was saying he's getting there. He's still not 100%, but he feels much better. The ball's taking off a little better out of his hand.
Rudolfo Castro out on a check swing. Kyle Wright has thrown 17 pitches in 2 scoreless innings with 3 strikeouts and a 2-0 lead.
Brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Great start at PNC Park on a beautiful day for baseball. Atlanta leads 2-0 on a William Contreras second inning home run. Now Robbie Grossman, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Dansby Swanson are coming up against Mitch Keller, a former number 2 draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Good to see Robbie Grossman last night come through with an RBI single. Get him going a little bit. He was huge during a homestand. Hitting a couple of home runs.
Well, that's been the calling card for the Braves, hasn't it? During this 15-game run, Braves have hit 16 homers in their last 15 coming into today's play, and already another long ball against the Pirates in this season and series finale. And Keller misses downstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
I think Grossman swings the axe in the offseason. About those forearms, BJ.
Yeah.
Into center. Reynolds can't get there. Took an odd route. Ball hit right at him. And Grossman's aboard with a leadoff single.
I love that swing right there. Didn't dip his shoulders, pop it up, stayed on top. Line shot there. Stayed back perfectly. Look at the hips explode through. Got on top of that ball.
So 3 hits for the Braves. Now the top of the order is coming up. This is how the Braves have really been doing their magic. Bottom of the order feeding the top. Let's see if Ronald can extend his hitting streak to 4 games today. Another foul ball off the bat of Acuna. Strike 1. He's our Synovus Get There featured player of the game with a terrific month of August.
Yes, you can see him starting to be more patient at the plate, take some walks, and his game is starting to improve. 317, 15 runs. Look, he gets on base, he's going to score.
Ronald's got the big sunglasses on this bright day. He's behind 0-2. Athletic eyewear has certainly changed in the game, Brian, hasn't it?
Oh, eyewear, fashion. It has really stepped up in Major League Baseball.
Foul away. If you gave a young player a pair of the flip down shades that you used to wear in the outfield, would they know how to work them, you think?
They wouldn't even know what they are, man. That would be so foreign to these guys.
One ball, 2 strikes. With Grossman at first, Braves up 2.
Wow. Kelly got away with that one.
We showed you Ronald's hard hit rate. Hard hits are balls that have an exit velocity of over 95 miles an hour. Expected batting average 524 on those. Below, weekly hit balls, expected batting average is 219.
Look out, Kelly.
Keller with that sneaky fastball, getting up on hitters quick.
Acuna's fouled off 4 or 5 here. Hoping that Mitch Keller makes a mistake. If he does, it could get real loud. The pitch. Instead, time called.
Grossman had a heck of a lean right there. There it is again.
Good take.
Mentioned that Keller's last start, just 2 innings. That was against the Red Sox. He didn't fare well in that game. He'd been battling some right shoulder fatigue. Already up to 40 pitches in this game as Acuna slaps that one down the line, foul. Great at bat. He's making this guy work. Man aboard, nobody out.
And that's been a difference in Acuna. I mean, he's grinding out at bats. Yeah, the home run power is not there yet. So what? With his speed, his tools, he gets on base, he's going to score. And right now, I think he's just working his way back, trying to get base hits, get that average going, which is up to 272 coming into today's game. Sometimes coming off an injury, it takes longer to come to grips that home run power is not there just yet. So let's figure out other ways, and that's what he's doing right now.
Pop fly foul again.
Paul, this has to frustrate pitchers. I mean, what's going through his mind right now? What do I throw this guy?
Make a decision. Let's go. Yeah, it starts to wear on you. Start to try to overthrow sometimes. You have to guard against that as a pitcher.
Off speed, and Acuna swings and misses. However, that could be a very productive at bat for the rest of the lineup. Ronald did a heck of a job to fight that long, but he's out number one, and Dansby Swanson, the hitter.
That was just a nasty pitch. He took a lot off of this curveball. Just never got there.
So Keller has 4 strikeouts after 2 1/3 innings. Here's Dansby. He flied out his first time up. That was an 11 pitch at bat for Acuna. So mark that down as the innings pile up for the Pittsburgh right-hander.
How about that? That was a 9-inning first inning pitches wise, and he's already up to 40-something in the 3rd inning.
The next one's number 45.
Braves definitely making him work.
Grossman's running. Pitch high. The throw to second is off target. Good try at second by Newman. With a swipe tag, he saved a throwing error from Heineman. And Robbie Grossman steals his 4th base of the season.
Robbie showing his tools. I'm not just a guy that switch hitter can play outfield. I can run too. Great jump. Good slide. Now he's in scoring position for Dansby.
Almost got him.
So a hit means a run. Swanson looking for his 70th RBI. And Austin Riley lurking on deck as Swanson faces a 3-0 count. Dansby's on pace for 89 RBIs. That would break his own record of most RBIs for a Brave shortstop. He set that last year. The pitch and the green light. And that got everybody behind the plate. Heineman the catcher, Alex Tassi the umpire.
That was a hard sinker, running in hard too.
Ball 4. It's set up for Riley. 2 on with 1 out.
Wow, that's a good take there. That was a nasty changeup with a late drop.
This is kind of what the Braves did last night. Although it was deeper in the game, second time through the order, the Braves saw something against JT Brubaker and jumped all over him. The second time through the order productive for the Braves here in the 3rd inning. 2 on, 1 out. And MVP candidate Austin Riley digging in.
Austin's been getting a steady diet of curveballs away. He's been chasing those pitches.
They give him the whole right side of the infield. Instead, he's jammed and pops that towards short. And that's an infield fly, although it was a humpback line drive. And Riley is an automatic out, 2 away, and Matt Olson is the hitter. He doubled to left to start his day. Olson's double, his 37th of the year. His 64th extra base hit. Matt, as you know, set a franchise record with 34 doubles for the Braves before the All-Star break. And has his first hit of the series here in Game 3. 2 on, 2 outs. Took a shot at left again, fouled it away. It's 0-2.
To his credit, last night he hit a couple of balls really hard, but just right to the outfielders. He is starting to lock in again.
Good speed aboard for the Braves, who lead by 2. Up the middle, O'Neill Cruz, great arm, long throw, and got his man, and that retires the side. Braves strand a pair in the 3rd inning. Kyle Wright, though, enjoys a 2-0 lead. Baseball from the bleachers at Truist Parks, Thursday, September 1st, 6:30 Eastern Time. Our coverage starts on Bally Sports South. Jeff Francoeur and I will have the Braves and Rockies from the Coors Light Chop House, and we'll also have a very special guest that we'll be announcing in the days ahead. Hope you keep watching Braves baseball to find out who that guest will be, as we can't wait to get home for a big homestand, starting with the Colorado Rockies.
Guess better be really good, Chip.
Better be.
You're building it up, and I don't know. And I thought we were close. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of food out there, Chip. Coming at you all game long.
Thank goodness. That was one of the highlights, is what Tyler Matzik brought us our nachos.
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
I was very excited about that. Best part of that is hanging out with the fans out in the Chop House, and the ballpark will be rocking and rolling. So looking forward to that, and another productive homestand for the Braves, who, as you know, are on pace to draw 3 million fans. We've got 15 regular season home games left. The Braves are already over 2.5 million paying customers. Tucupita Marcano is the hitter. Kyle Wright has set down the first 6 Pirates in order with 3 strikeouts. Marcano, a .217 hitter with a couple of homers with the Pirates. Swing and a miss. Kyle Wright's breaking ball has been devastatingly good. He has struck out 4 in a perfect start to today's play. 1 out.
Starting out down in the zone and disappears. Looks like a fastball because of the 12-6 spin on it. Same thing you see from a reverse angle when you get behind the baseball and throw that good 4-seamer up.
It's fun to talk to current players about how good Kyle Wright's stuff is, and we do that a lot. Other broadcasters too. But when you talk to legendary players who are now broadcasting and they see this guy pitch and they rave about his stuff, his makeup, and the turnaround, most notably Keith Hernandez, great player. He said that is some kind of curveball that would have played in my era.
Yes.
That's quite the compliment.
And that's been a difference in Kyle Wright, going back to being himself in college and commanding that curveball once again. And I understand, you know, a young player comes up and, you know, you got your pitching coaches in your ear telling you to do things certain ways. You try to do it that way,
right,
but that's just not you. And finally, you go back to the things that you know best.
And I would assume, Brian, that's hard to do, right? Because many organizations will draft a player and they'll want to change what made them draftable in the first place. And when it's not working, the players reluctant to say, this isn't me.
Right. Well, a young player, you almost can't afford to do that, because then all of a sudden you start getting labeled. He's not going to listen to us. And you don't want to get caught up in that. So you try what they say, try. And if it doesn't work for you, you got to eventually figure it out like he did. I mean, I used to have hitting coaches that wanted me to hit like them. And it just wasn't me. So I would respect them and try. But at some point, I went back to being me.
Same thing with pitching coaches, by the way.
Because if you're successful, they're going to take the credit anyway.
Wright certainly doing that. 15 wins as he faces Josh Van Meter, and he struck him out. Kyle Wright has struck out the last 4 Pirates in order, and 2 are away for the catcher.
That was nasty. Oh my. Wow.
You think about the curveball, you sometimes forget, oh, he's got a changeup too. Circle change, beautifully thrown. Got to factor in the slider and the high fastball, not just the sinker and the power curve, which he said he was going to throw harder today, and he's done so.
Tyler Heineman is that Pirates catcher. 0 for 2 is he in the series. And fouls that off his foot. Strike 1. Can't say enough about the turnaround that Kyle Wright has had individually and what that has meant to the Braves team. He's one behind Tony Gonsolin for the National League lead in wins. Kyle Wright came into this season 2-8 as a big league pitcher. He's 15-5 and is making his 24th start today. 1-1 count.
There it is again. Shout out to Josh Tomlin if you were watching. Josh was the one that told Kyle to go look at the spin rate numbers on his curveball and compare with other big league pitchers, and Kyle came back and said Sonny Gray. And Josh said to Kyle, if Sonny Gray throws his 3 times as much as you, I think you should throw your curveball more. What a great point that was.
Yeah.
Just 31 pitches in the 3rd inning for Kyle Wright. And it's 2-2 for the 9th place hitter for the Pirates, Tyler Heineman. He was a waiver claim from Toronto in mid-May and making his 2nd start in this series. Play him as a pull hitter, and he pulls that one foul off the netting by the Braves dugout. We'll do it again.
Throw the change up here, Paul.
That's just it. So many choices. Yeah, I liked his last one. You can certainly go back to it.
Full count now with O'Neill Cruz waiting on deck. And that breaking ball around the plate. Kyle thought he had his man. Instead, he has his first base runner. A 2-out walk. And that'll bring up O'Neill Cruz, who struck out to start his day.
Kyle wanted that pitch right there. Slide on outer half. Surprised Heineman didn't swing at that pitch.
That won't be a problem for this kid. A 41% strikeout rate. He added to that with a swing and a miss in the 1st inning. O'Neill Cruz. Rifle off the wall. And the Pirates have runners at 1st and 3rd. He can hit the fastball. They know that. And he went ambushed and almost hit a line drive homer to tie the game. Instead, Braves lucky it's 1st and 3rd. That ball got to the fence in a hurry.
might be the hardest single I've seen all year.
My goodness. That ball was crushed. Looks like he swung with one hand on the bat. Good job by Acuna getting over there, playing it off the wall.
I'm not one that gets into all the exit velocity stuff all that much, but this is worth noting. 122.4 miles an hour off the bat. That's got to be the hardest hit ball we've seen against the Braves this year. And right, lucky that that fastball came back.
It's one of the hardest hit balls of all time.
So Kevin Newman, the batter, he grounded out. Great play by Swanson. Almost got hit here. Ball one, strike one for the Pirates second baseman.
And that's exactly why they love this kid Cruz, because he can do that. 10 home runs on the year.
Popped up, but it's going to drift into the stands and an even count. Well, the circumstances for Cruz far different than what they are for Vaughn Grissom and Michael Harris. The Pirates are a rebuilding team. He doesn't have the offensive support around him. But there's a lot to like, and you like that even better. A comebacker speared by Kyle Wright, and that will end the Pirates' third inning. Kyle saying thank you very much, fielded his position well, and protects a 2-run lead. Came in the second after a Matt Olson double, and William Contreras did that.
Man, he waited back so well on that curveball. And his power zone, right center field, exit velocity 111, 430 feet. Man, he continues to get better. 17th home run of the season. Guys, his brother has 19 home runs on the season. He has half the at-bats and almost there.
Well, he needs to hit the weight room. That one only 104 off the bat after Cruz's 122-mile-an-hour rocket off the right field fence. And you made a great point, Brian. If he had any kind of launch angle, where do you think that would have gone?
That would have been halfway to the other side of the. Oh, man, unbelievable.
So the Cruz single is the hardest hit ball in the major leagues this year.
It's actually the hardest hit ball of the entire StatCast era. Previous went to Giancarlo Stanton, who had 122.2. O'Neill says, I'm the owner now.
So Kyle, please don't throw him the fastball again. My heart can't take it. Eddie Rosario, the batter, with one out and a 2-0 lead.
Well, we've seen the arm throwing the ball across at 95 to 97 miles an hour. Now we've seen the power, the speed, the exit velocity. BJ wants to see him run. I don't know. Maybe we'll wait on that one until the next series.
Yeah. Watch a highlight.
Line drive into right field. A base hit for Rosario. Again, so many guys are barreling the ball now because the hitting is so good in Major League Baseball. 100 miles an hour off the bat isn't necessarily extraordinary. 122 is, and that's what made what O'Neill Cruz did earlier so exciting.
And guys, he releases the bat so quickly, it's almost like he's swinging with one arm. Launch angle was not there, but the velocity definitely there. Unbelievable strength. Tall, lanky guy possessing that type of pop.
You know, normally when you hit a ball off the wall like that, they tell you weight room. Nobody's going to say anything to O'Neill after that one.
And he's got a whip-like swing, doesn't he? Generates a lot of bat speed. But not enough for the Pirates to score in the third inning. Braves threatening again here in the fourth. A one-out single by Eddie Rosario brings up Vaughn Grissom. His first big league 3-hit game yesterday. And he's trying to extend his hitting streak to 5 as he plays at PNC Park for the first time. He'll get a treat this weekend when we go to St. Louis. plays the hot-hitting Cardinals.
It's a good eye by Grissom. So patient at the plate. When you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. And he's a guy that doesn't strike out much. He puts the ball in play.
And if he gets to 2 strikes, he can work himself back into the count. Very impressive for a young man learning on the fly, as is Vaughn Grissom. He scored a run. 14 runs, I should say, in 14 games for the Braves. And late time call. You guys hate that, don't you?
Yeah, that's frustrating for a pitcher because you're halfway through. You don't want to stop your arm. You can get injured like that. Normally, you're told to continue to throw the pitch. And if you want to send a message or you're angry, you throw one halfway up the backstop.
I was about to say Roger Clemens would not accept that. You might get it right in between the shoulder blades.
It's a different game now, but you're right.
It is. It is.
2-2 pitch. And Grissom swung at a ball in the dirt, and Keller has his 5th strikeout. 2 outs for Michael Harris, who's 0 for 1. Look, this guy's tough. He's got a losing record. He's playing on a losing team. But he's kept the Pirates in ball games. He's allowed 3 earned runs or less in 11 of his last 14 efforts. He's given up just 2 today, Paul.
Absolutely. There's something about keeping your team in the game, giving your team innings, giving them a chance to win, regardless of what kind of offense your team has. And Keller has made the adjustment, specifically learning how to throw a sinker up here.
I mean, he clearly has the stuff to be really successful.
Out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Good pitchers come out of Iowa. The heater from Van Meter. Rapid Robert, Bob Feller.
Way upstairs for Michael Harris. 2 balls, no strikes. We'll be big Pirates fans after this series. Why? Pittsburgh heads to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Phillies in a 3-game series. That's while we'll be in St. Louis.
Bryce Harper is getting close to being back.
The guys at Gwinnett found that out, didn't they?
Yes.
Harper hit a couple of home runs in his first rehab assignment. And we've got 7 games left with the Phillies, who are trying to make the playoffs. Braves have a comfortable lead on them for 2nd place in the division. In fact, Atlanta's 8 games ahead of the Phillies. And we're 2 games behind the Mets, who are idle today. There's a shot hit toward third. Nice play. Long skip throw to first will be way late. Michael Harris puts the ball in play, and the Braves have a 2-out single and 2 aboard here in the 4th inning.
Wow, good piece of hitting by Mike Harris. That ball was up and in, and he was able to push that ball to the left side of the field. Good try by Cruz, but too much speed by Michael Harris.
Yeah, that was Rodolfo Castro at third base, with Ke'Bryan Hayes DHing today for Pittsburgh. And now Cruz will move into a shift for Robbie Grossman, who singled, stole a base, and was stranded back in the 3rd inning. 3 singles, a double, and a homer for the Braves offense here in Game 3.
That's what you call, Chip. You always call it a generous strike right there. Curveball.
That's a nice way of saying it really wasn't a strike.
Exactly.
That's part of the beauty of the game, is scouting the umpire's strike zone, seeing if it's consistent, what adjustments the pitchers and batters make. This Cruz had a good series behind the plate, in my opinion. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves trying to add on here in the 4th inning. They've out-hit the Buccos 5-1 and lead where it counts 2-0.
Wow, look how wide open that left center field gap is.
Instead, it's pulled to first, and it's under the glove of Van Meter. And the Braves get a gift-wrapped run. Told you about the Pirates' defense, worst in the National League. That's their 86th error. And Atlanta adds on with a 2-out misplay at first to score Eddie Rosario. It's 3-0.
Wow, as a pitcher, you got to be frustrated. You got the pitch you wanted, got the ground ball. Just underneath, got to get down on that ball. Even I know that when I played first base, Paul.
That's unusual. I didn't see a bad hop. He just pulled it up early. You don't see that at this level very often. But yeah, as a pitcher, you're frustrated, but you don't show that with your body language. You get the next guy out, try to pick up your teammate.
But the degree of difficulty a lot harder with Ronald Acuna Jr. in the batter's box. So an unearned run. Braves will gladly take that. A single might get you one more here. Or would get you one more, I should say. A double might get you two.
Surprised Grossman didn't take off in a free stolen base here. With Michael Harris on third, I don't think you want to throw that ball down in a second.
Heineman faked. Nobody was at the bag. Thought he might have had a chance to pick off Harris, but no throw. 2 balls, no strikes.
You make a great point, because I've talked to EY about that. He says, you know, in normal situations where you may run, we don't really want to take the bat out of anybody's hands because you may hit a 3-run homer here. So you are absolutely right on the steal, but it creates some confusion sometimes on when to go.
Brian, you want to say it or should I?
Generous strike right there.
3-1 the count. Swanson on deck. 3-0 Braves in the 4th inning.
That was the exact pitch that struck Acuna out his last at bat.
That one too high, and the Braves have the bases loaded for Dansby Swanson. So the pitches will pile up after the E3, and Dansby a chance to do serious damage here with 2 outs. And Keller needs a breather. And you know who feels worst about this meeting? That's Josh Van Meter, the first baseman. The inning ought to be over, but it's going to continue now with hot-hitting Dansby Swanson, who's looking for RBI number 70 here in the 4th inning. So while the Pirates talk it over in Game 3, let's step aside quickly for a word from the Mattress Firm.
Mattress Firm's Season of Dreams sweepstakes could take you to the World Series. Go to MLB.com/Season of Dreams to view official rules and to enter the Season of Dreams sweepstakes today.
I don't know, but you guys saw how slow Van Meyer was walking to the mound. That was a long walk for him right there.
Van Meter's played all over the place for the Pirates, 6 different positions, including 1 inning behind the plate. They've used 7 different guys catching this year. But Atlanta hit it to the right guy at the right time. It gave him a 3rd run. Now let's see what Dansby can do after the Pittsburgh meeting on the mound. Oscar Marin is their pitching coach. I'm sure, Bertie, it's one thing to say, hey, stick with your game plan, go pitch by pitch here, but I'm sure psychologically you're thinking, I ought to be sitting down with my offense up.
Yeah, you can't think that. You are, though. You know, hey, I should be out of it. but it's hard to pitch like that.
Shot down the right field line. That's a base hit. 2 more runs are going to score. Acuna streaking toward third. Wash is going to hold him up. Acuna is going to run through the stop sign, throw to the plate off target. Dansby's going to go from second to third.
Well, now what is Keller saying, right, Paul?
Well, that's what you don't want to happen.
Well, you just saw it. He got the baseball in the backup and disgustedly threw it back toward the Pirates dugout. The Braves have added on here with 4 runs. They've blown the game open. It should still be 2-0. Thank you very much.
Inside out swing, fastball in on the hands. Good pitch. Dansby finding a way to get the job done, putting it in play.
And how about Acuna hustling from first base, getting Dansby that 3rd RBI on the day. Just never stop. Saw Ron Washington saying, hold up. But we've seen it too often. I mean, that's what Acuna brings to the table.
Gonna have to get one of those steel barricades that pop up, you know, at the ballpark, just to make sure Ronald stops. But he caught the Pirates by surprise. A 3-run double. Swanson takes third on the throw to the plate, and Austin Riley the hitter. Keller for the 2nd straight start has had some trouble. 5 runs against the Red Sox. The Braves have touched him for 6. And he's about to make his 80th pitch. Pittsburgh's bullpen starts to work as Keller's pitch counts really piled up after the error. And that one into the crowd right side here at PNC Park, where the Pirates will get over 1 million in attendance with today's crowd today. This will be the 12th pitch after the error at first base. And it's dumped into right field. That's going to drop for a hit. Austin Riley off the end of the bat. Look at Keller. Give Riley his 81st RBI. The Braves showing no mercy. And Derek Shelton is on his way out. You know, Van Meter feels like a man who wishes he could crawl under first base.
I've been there before, guys. Just want to dig a hole and jump in it.
Yeah, and your first baseman feels bad. I mean, he didn't want this to happen either, so you want to pick up your teammate. That's a good pitch. Swanson hit a good pitch. Braves are finding a way to, as my partner loves, just work the ball the other field.
So the Braves take advantage of a Pirates mistake. They have a 5-run 4th and lead 7-0. Us and the Braves in St. Louis. We will join you on Friday night for Game 1 of a weekend series at Busch Stadium. Final look at Albert Pujols, who's closing in on 700 home runs. Cardinals hot, Braves are hotter. That'll be a lot of fun for the Friday night showdown. Join us on Valley Sports Southeast and the Valley Sports app. The Friday night showdown is presented by Kaiser Permanente. This man on the mound for the Pirates should bring back some memories. Manny Banuelos was a Brave. Remember when Atlanta was rebuilding? They traded David Carpenter and Chasen Shreve to the Yankees for Banuelos, a man who, like Max Fried, was coming off Tommy John surgery. This was a guy that when Mariano Rivera saw him, said he was the best pitching prospect he had ever seen. But injuries have really wreaked havoc on the career of Manny Banuelos, who's now a relief pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Matt Olson, the 9th man to hit in the 4th inning. Braves batted around in the 5th last night. And that one all the way to the backstop. Nothing going right for the Pittsburgh Pirates in Game 3 today. The Braves like it that way. Riley moves up. Pass ball. Is the official scoring? Banuelos, a native of Mexico. He has pitched with the Yankees organizations, the Cubs, excuse me, the White Sox, I beg your pardon, the Angels, the Dodgers, now with the Pirates. He also pitched in China, the Chinese Professional Baseball League. That was in 2020. And Pittsburgh got him in a cash transaction right before the 4th of July. Two for Matt Olson. A critical E3 has led to a huge inning for the Braves. And that's what good teams do. They take advantage of mistakes. The pitch is driven foul out of play.
Two-seam, four-seam curve, slider, changeup mix. He likes to go to that slider, which is very effective against lefties. I'm surprised he didn't go to it now. And even in center field, there's a little bit of glare above the wall between the batter's eye.
Bounced in front of Heineman, who did a nice job to keep it in front and keep Austin Riley at second.
There was the slider, and Matt Olson, who hits and sees lefties well, said, "I'm not swinging."
And Matt Olson takes ball 4. So Contreras got the inning started with a ground out to second. That was off Mitch Keller. Now he'll face Manny Banuelos. Fix your scorebook, Brian.
No, right? Oh, man.
Where you going?
I'm going back to the 3rd inning.
Third, okay.
Fill that in. Yeah.
Contreras, a 2-run homer. For players with 275 plate appearances or less, Contreras has the most homers in the major leagues, now with 17.
Wow.
Again, give him 300 at bats or so, you're looking at a 34, 35 home run man.
Yep.
And maybe that time will be coming for the Braves All-Star.
I'm just so impressed at how 1 year can make a huge difference. Contreras working so hard this offseason on his defense more than anything, calling games, and his offense has definitely come around.
William tried to hit that over the 379 side. So William 3 homers behind his brother Wilson, who has 20 with the Cubs. Hope he didn't hurt himself with that big swing. Kind of flexed his back after he had that hefty cut. And a swing and a tip will end the inning. But what an inning for Atlanta. The Braves tack on 5 runs. The Pirate error leads to a 7-0 lead in the middle of the 4th inning. All right, and a nice big lead as he heads to work in the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's take a look at our Getting More Done feature. That is brought to you by the Home Depot.
Kyle Wright, Max Fried, you see the numbers right there. There is nothing wrong with the ground ball. I don't care what the new stats say. I do like the high fastball. The game has changed, but anytime you can get ball on the ground, especially with this defense, you got to feel good.
I have never seen a ground ball go over the fence.
There you go.
Right? Kyle's only had 2 ground balls in this game because he's picked up 5 strikeouts in the first 3 innings. So the challenge, I would guess, Bertie, after a long rest, how do you stay sharp and maintain what's been terrific work through the first 3 innings?
Yeah, and that happens in between innings when you see, hey, this could be a long one. You go down either in the locker room or in the tunnel, you get on the bike, 15, 20 seconds, pedal a little bit, throw a couple baseballs into the net if you need to.
That'll help him. Bryan Reynolds swings the first pitch. And Harris is there for out number 1.
What you don't want is your arm shutting down after 25, 30 minutes or so, thinking the game's over, and then you got to re-warm it up again. You want to keep everything moving, all the circulation going, so you don't have to throw a ton. You just throw a couple of pitches.
Well, I mean, it made me nervous because he's coming off the 3rd inning where he pitched his way out of trouble with 2 outs and then have to sit that long. You're sitting there like, is it lingering that, I had a rough inning? But obviously not. First pitch fly ball. You got to feel good about that.
So what do you take, Bertie? You take the 7 runs, or you worry about, gosh, I have to rest a while?
I'm going to go with the 7 runs.
Yeah. That's on the ground. Olson's got that. And Kyle Wright, 2 quick outs on 3 pitches. Keep Brian Hayes the batter, but first, a quick word from our friends at Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal. Always.
So after a 23-minute offensive half inning supporting Kyle Wright, the Pirates have made 2 outs on 3 pitches.
I was going to talk about the story of the Vandy matchup with Bryan Reynolds and Kyle Wright on the hill.
Little flare into left field. That'll drop in for a hit for Brian Hayes. His first since coming back from the IL.
But I didn't have time because he's working so fast, and I can't even get to it now, BJ.
Yeah, you might want to hold on to that one.
Let me write that in my notes, although this is our last Pirates series.
Yeah, 2023 is just a few months away. Here's Rodolfo Castro. He struck out his first time up. Look, I know that for Pirates fans, it's tough to stomach what's going on at the major league level. They've had some real rough years. There's no escaping that. They lost 101 games last season. They may lose 100 again this year. But Ben Cherington and their ownership, they've really stripped this team down, and they're trying to rebuild through the farm system, and that is bearing some fruit. As this one's in the air toward right center, Harris is there on the warning track, and that'll retire the side. Pirates farm system ranked 3rd in the major leagues. That gives them hope for the future. But today it's Atlanta's day, up 7-0. Including the ability to have up to 3 ticket partners to share your membership, making it easier to split between friends, business members, and family. For more information on membership options for a full or partial season commitment to the A-List, go to Braves.com. 7-0 Atlanta. Kyle Wright's looking terrific. Contreras hit a 2-run homer. A Pirate defensive error led to 5 unearned runs for Mitch Keller, who leaves after 3 2/3. And now Manny Banuelos heads to Rosario, Grissom, Harris, and Grossman. This bottom part of the lineup has been awesome for Atlanta, including Eddie, who has a single and a run scored today.
Yeah, I mean, you're a pitcher facing this lineup. There's no weaknesses. You have to sit there and say, who am I going to try to get out? You know, where's that spot going to be? And it's not in this lineup. And that's the fun part about watching these guys all year long. Whether it's 1 through 3 getting it done, 4 through 6, and 6 through 9. I mean, it's been fun.
Rays today have 7 runs scored by 7 different players, which I think illustrates it just as effectively as you can. It's not just the cleanup guys cleaning up. Everybody is.
And you look at the breakdown as far as RBIs, it's almost the same all the way through the lineup. And that's unheard of.
That's
guys.
unheard of.
Well, we hope the rest of the major leagues will hear a lot of it over the final 6 weeks.
That's right.
Braves are rolling on their way to their 16th win this month and a 9th consecutive road victory. Pitch is popped up back toward us and foul for Rosario. 3-2 your count.
You know, Michael Harris with the 8-year $72 million contract. He's our 9th hitter for most of the season. You know, hitting 8 now.
Swing and a miss. Banuelos pulled a string. Second strikeout for Manny. 1 up, 1 down. Our landmark team comparison illustrates our point and how strong the Braves are 1 through 9, especially this lower third of the batting order.
Wow. 66 home runs, 196 RBIs. That production 7 through 9 has been terrific all year.
So Kelly Cole, is this one back to the mound? It really is pick your poison for an opposing pitcher, starter, or reliever.
Without question. And I love when pitchers in the same clubhouse are asked about this lineup. For instance, last night, Max Fried, how about the bottom of your lineup? And he goes, here's the thing. You just have no breaks. Every single guy that goes up there is a threat to either take you deep, get on base, and then steal a base, which makes your margin for error that much smaller. And it puts a lot of pressure on you, especially when you know they're due for big innings. And I think about last night, the 5th guys. Today it was the 4th inning, and then I also got a chuckle with Grossman, who's hitting 9th today, saying you got a kid who's been here for 2 months that's slugging 500 and hitting 8th, and then you got a guy who's got an OPS over 1,000 that's hitting 7th, and well, he's just been here for 2 weeks. So I don't know, but I'm betting if you look at numbers across the league, that's pretty wild. I can't imagine there's too many teams that have that. So he's enjoying, let's just say, hitting, you know, behind those guys and in front of Acuna right now.
Who wouldn't? Braves have a 130-plus run differential this year. They've scored 130 more runs.
And you look at it, guys, you got 5 leadoff guys, really, who's going to run and steal bases. That is a luxury to have if you're Brian Snitker.
Well, that's my point with the contract with Harris. It's not actually the money. It's like Brian Hayes, who plays for the Pirates, who's their guy who got that kind of a contract. Well, he's got to be the 3rd, 4th, or 5th hitter.
And has to be the guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The guy. The guy hits 8th or 9th.
And so this team's ability to hit home runs, we know all about that. Yankees and Braves 1-2 in home runs in the major leagues. This is also a team that, as we saw in the 4th inning, can manufacture runs and cash in on opposing teams' mistakes. And that's what you have to do in postseason, right?
You have to.
A base runner's a rally.
Yep.
You're not always going to get 2- and 3-run homers. But with this team, 1 through 9, anybody can run into one mistake pitch, which is what helped the Braves roll to the World Series last year. Strike 3 over the inside corner, and Manny Banuelos a 1-2-3. Top half of the 5th inning. He has struck out 3, but the Braves enjoy a 7-0 advantage. Baseball is brought to you by Truist. We are with you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for our wrap-up at PNC Park. The Braves are having fun today. A 2-run homer in the 2nd, a 5-run 4th, 5 unearned runs credited to the Braves here in Game 3. Kyle Wright is rolling. He's got a shutout on 2 hits. In his first 4 innings, Wright has struck out 5 and is gunning for his 16th win, which would tie him with Tony Gonsolin for the National League lead. Lower third up for the Pirates. We just illustrated those issues for Derek Shelton. Marcano, Van Meter, and Tyler Heineman are up for the 2nd time. Rolled foul out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes for Tucupita Marcano.
You love saying that name.
I do.
I like hearing it. You can say it again.
It's a very unique name.
Anytime you want.
Just kind of rolls off your lips. As I mentioned last night, named for the town in which he was born in Venezuela. That's where he lives in the offseason. And this one on the ground into the shift. That'll be no trouble. Long throw. Marcano out on a bang play. 1 out.
Keep the curveballs coming. what a great story he is. And before the season started, if you had said, well, Kyle Wright's going to have an unbelievable year, Contreras is going to have an incredible year, Michael Harris is going to jump everybody and go from 12 to 1 in the prospect rank, come up and turn this team around. And then we're going to bring Grissom up, and he's going to solidify a position at second base where guys have gotten hurt. On and on.
Another roller. Olson's going to field that. Look at Wright get to the bag with the glove flip. And quickly 2 out. Tyler Heineman, the 9th place hitter, is up for Pittsburgh. 7-0 Atlanta. Trying to head to the off day the best possible way with a big win. Celebrate the 20th anniversary of MLB.TV with free baseball all day August 26th. Stream it live or on demand on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.TV for the details.
I just love the way Wright continues to get ahead of hitters. Throwing that strike one, putting the pressure on these guys to swing early.
Well, in a game where nothing's automatic, on a check swing, long throw, and Olson makes that play. And that will retire the side. Everything going right for Atlanta. Tyler Heineman is out number 3. Wright has qualified for win number 16.
We head to the 6th here. Robbie Grossman leading things off, and this is the guy that Kevin Seitzer has just been raving about since he came over. He mentioned ultra intense, ultra engaged. This is a guy he said that on his off day is studying pitchers. So we know what his big day tomorrow in St. Louis will be, guys. He'll be studying pitchers he may not have seen yet, but is really excited about some of the adjustments that they've made. And Brian, I heard you mention yesterday the tension in the upper body. That's something that he's really been trying to get him relax on the upper half because he's quick inside and has a tendency to get around balls. But he used a phrase or a lingo, if you will, that I had never heard, and I thought it was so funny. So I have to mention it to you guys and see if you've heard this. He said he would be squeezing the bat so hard from the left side that he'd have sawdust dripping out of his batting gloves. Have you guys heard that one before?
Yes,
I've
heard it
that.
plenty of times.
Have you? Okay, I guess I hadn't heard it. I loved that though. But anyway, all that to say, certainly something they've been, trying to work on here from the left side.
Yeah, that's the perfect thing you don't want to do is hold that bat really, really tight and grind it. You want to be as loose as possible, and that's something that Kevin Seitzer has been working on with him to loosen them up, relax those hands, and we're starting to see some good results.
Dwayne Underwood, the 3rd Pirate pitcher today, and to Kelly's point about that homework after today's game, well, Jose Quintana will start the series for the Cardinals. The Braves beat him when he was a member of the Pirates back in Atlanta earlier this year. That ball lifted to the left side, and Castro is there and puts it away for out number 1 here in the Atlanta 6th. Big news today, the schedule for next year was released by Major League Baseball. As you know, we'll be playing every team in the major leagues at least one series. In 2023, the Braves are tentatively scheduled to open the year in Washington. The home opener tentatively April 6th of 2023 with the San Diego Padres. And who knows, maybe we'll be celebrating a 2nd consecutive World Championship on opening day next year. Hope that's the case.
Certainly have the players to do it. Chip, are you a fan of the schedule?
I am. I think it's long overdue.
I'm surprised a West Coast team that early in the season is going to travel and opening day opponent.
Well, that could be advantageous for the Braves. Remember, Fernando Tatis will be suspended.
Oh, that's
the Braves
right.
have a home with the Padres in the first 2 weeks. So we'll miss Tatis altogether again for San Diego next year. 16 of the last 28 games will be against the NL East next season. And 15 of the last 25 games will be at Truist Park. So the schedule will be released in full over the next several days, but it was announced today that schedule's out. We'll be seeing everybody, which will really, I think, help grow the game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. See guys that you don't normally see during the year, some superstars.
Chip, I know you were excited to see Mike Trout this year, but finally got your chance and he was hurt.
He's hurt. He was hurt. But that's the whole point of it, is Cooper takes a walk. I really want to grow the game. I want to see the rest of Major League, but the fans in Detroit, the fans in Seattle, the fans in Oakland who don't get to see the Braves all that often in person, they'll be in their ballpark or on their TV every year.
Yep.
And you got to see Ohtani for the Angels.
Right.
Pitched great, hit a home run. The crowd was rocking, and we got to him, and it's been one of my favorite games to watch this year.
So a lot to look forward to next season. Still some unfinished business for the Braves this year. It's been a long time since the Major Leagues have had a repeat World Series champion in back-to-back seasons. The Braves are getting hot, guys, at the right time. Entering today's play, they've won 13 of their last 15 games and are in great position to head to St. Louis a game and a half behind the Mets. Well, how quickly the mood around this Braves team changed after dropping 4 of 5 in New York to Boston, to Miami, then back home, and now here in Pittsburgh. Totally different feel. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I think that was an eye-opener for the Braves. You know, walking out of New York, those fans doing the chop, you know, really rubbing in on the Braves. Kind of woke them up to me. Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, you got to love it. I know Chipper Jones getting called, you know, Larry. All the great stuff in New York and other places where they get on you. That's what it's all about.
2-1 pitch. This one is on the ground and right at Cruz. The flip to second one. And that is a double play, and that will send us to the Pirates' half of the 6th inning. O'Neill Cruz, who almost took down the right field wall, will lead off. This weekend, we're back home at Truist Park. An off day on Monday. Then the Rockies are in for 3. The Marlins come in for a 4-game series. That homestand is brought to you by our friends at Angie. Be in the bleachers for one of those games as well. That'll be a lot of fun. Braves have played dominant baseball at Truist Park. They've been dominant in this series with the Pirates. O'Neill Cruz will lead off. He has one of the 2 Pirates hits. If you missed it, you missed the hardest hit ball by velocity in the major leagues this year. It was a single off the blue stripe atop the Roberto Clemente wall back in the 3rd inning.
Talking about a young kid that's learning in the big leagues, Cruz. If you're the Pirates organization, you got to feel good about these young guys you have.
As I said,
very talented.
3rd best ranked farm system in the major leagues. This one lifted toward left. Grossman's going to have a play on that. And there's the first out in the Pittsburgh 6. Look, Pirates since 2018, their last winning season, are about 115 games under 500. It has been rough. It has not been real good baseball at the major league level, but that has been the path of success for so many teams. Tearing it down to the studs, building through your farm system, and getting the kids to the major leagues. Derek Shelton is the manager here. They've traded away a lot of really good players. They did so again this year. But they have said, guys, he'll be back next season for the Pirates to try to steer them in the right direction in the National League Central.
Look, a perfect example, the Baltimore Orioles. They stripped their organization down. All of a sudden, they're starting to see the fruits of the labor right now. These guys are playing some good baseball in Baltimore.
They might make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
So it can happen. It's just so sad in this regard that you have to go through it at this level in a small market like Pittsburgh. Beautiful ballpark, incredible vistas, passionate fan base.
Yeah.
All that's left to do is to win. And hopefully they'll start doing that after we leave town today. Here's Brian Reynolds. And in for a strike.
Derek Schiller was a coach of mine when I played for the Indians. Known for being a good communicator. He's not going to panic. And, you know, when you're a young team and you're going to struggle, you need those things. You don't need somebody that's going to be tough to play for, who's a screamer, who's always on you, and you need somebody that communicates well. And I'm just told I said Derek Schiller.
Yes, you did.
Oh, my gosh.
Derek Schiller is going to like you, though.
Yeah.
Wow. Derek, if you're listening, that's true. I don't know if I should apologize to him or not, but I'll certainly apologize to Derek Shelton.
Here's what Derek was a great coach, too. Derek's enjoying this game today. Braves up 7-0. Kyle Wright rolling merrily along. Trying to get the Braves to St. Louis for a much-needed day of rest. Swing and a miss. Kyle Wright is rolling. He is having himself a great day. 6 strikeouts through 6 innings. He's shutting out the Buccos at PNC Park. It's 52-71, and Artie Moreno, their owner, yesterday announced that he may be exploring opportunities to put his club up for sale.
Wow.
I wish I had the money.
You mean you don't? New pitcher for the Pirates. Left-hander Eric Stout is in his 14th game for Pittsburgh. He'll have the PitchCom device ready to go as the Braves come up with Riley Olson and William Contreras. 2-run homer in the second for Atlanta. 5 unearned runs in the fourth. Blow the game open. Mitch Keller, the tough luck starter for Pittsburgh, again has not won a game on his home mound since last May. And he's not going to win today either.
How about my man Austin Riley? Yeah, he's not barreling balls up like he was, but he finds a way to get an RBI, hit the single when it matters.
Isn't that what MVP candidates do?
Exactly. Guys, we often talk about it. It's a 162 game season. The dog days, these guys play every inning. Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Matt Olson, they don't like to come out of the ball game. And sometimes you're going to get fatigued and your bat's going to be a little slow. And it's so tough to try to make that quick adjustment. You fall into a little, slump. And it's just amazing how he continues to grind, man.
That's why I think the 2 days off coming in the next 5 days will be so huge. Not just for the pitchers, which we've already talked about, but I agree with you, Brian. The everyday players.
Yeah.
This ball lifted toward right. Gamble gives chase, and at the edge of the warning track. 1 down.
PJ, late in your career, or I guess even early, when you face that grind as a hitter and you're swinging over and over again, come September, did you have to use a smaller bat or go down in ounces?
Yeah, I did. I went down, and you know who told me about that? Ken Griffey Jr. You know, he kind of educated me on going back to the lighter bat late in the season. And, you know, back in our day, guys played every day, you know? I don't think anyone's going to ever break Cal Ripken's record.
The man in the batter's box, I believe, is the man with the longest consecutive game streak active in the major leagues, Matt Olson. He's only got about 2,000 more to go to catch him.
I think he has to play to 2036 to catch him.
Yeah, amazing.
Good luck to you, Matt.
Hope he can do it.
Yeah. Eat right, stretch out. And you can do everything right from your point of view, but, you know, take a ball off the ankle, you take one off the wrist, and you're done.
Right back where it came from into the shift. Cruz will throw a laser to first. Won't take the Pirates first baseman to break in a glove too long with that guy at shortstop. Olson is retired. And there are 2 quick outs. Stick around for the stretch. It's presented by Synovus. Trevor and Peter are standing by doing their great work in our Atlanta studios. We mentioned the new schedule for 2023 is out. They'll break it down and talk about what they like coming up after the Braves are done hitting in a 7-0 7th inning in Pittsburgh.
Look, guys, I used to say when I played in the NFL that all baseball players were wimps. Man, they don't know anything about being tough.
You said that about me?
Yes, I did. And then I played my first 162 game season, and I had a new respect for baseball players, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the mental grind is the toughest part. You know, you talk about the little injuries, the nagging injuries. You don't have any time to rest. You got to go back out there the next day. So I quickly changed my tune, guys.
I think about that a lot just watching the game. When a guy fouls a ball off his instep or off the ankle bone at 97 miles an hour, not only stays in the game, but goes out and plays without a day off.
Just tape it up. Keep going.
3 balls and a strike from Stout. And that sweeps inside ball 4. The Braves have had a base runner in every inning but the first inning today. That continues with a 2-out walk here. Eddie Rosario, the DH, he has singled and scored today.
Thanks for the shout out, PJ, to baseball players.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Nothing but respect. Nothing but love for you guys.
You can also take the best athlete in the world, and if they can't track a curveball, you're done.
Have you changed your mind about kickers though yet, Brian?
No. No. Kickers. Who are they?
You always know in the last second, good or bad, though, don't you?
Yes, exactly.
1 ball, no strikes. And that sweeps outside from Stout, who's pitched with the Cubs and Pirates this year.
Try to get this in on those lines. Pitching at LSU, we had a great track and field program, won a lot of national championships, and a world-renowned javelin thrower came over and pitched off our mound thinking he was going to throw 100. He hit 82, 83 the next day in the cafeteria. He goes, I have so much respect for you pitchers. My arm's killing me.
Wow.
Jeff Francoeur found out about that when he made his relief appearance with the Phillies, right? First inning was great.
Right.
Second inning was terrible. We saw him 3 days later. 3 days later, when the Braves were up in Philadelphia, and Jeff walked up to me and said, I am so sore. I can barely move. As that's outside, another base on balls. 2 straight 2-out walks. That'll give managers gray hair. And Vaughn Grissom's coming up.
And how about, I said I respect baseball players. Peter Moreland texted me the most games I played in the whole season was 153 games. So kudos to Andrew Jones and those guys who played 162 games. I never did it. Thanks, Peter.
Way to go, Pete.
He's just trying to keep you humble.
That's exactly right.
Chip, you know what just happened there? We got a story in with 2 outs. Shout out to Vin Scully, who passed earlier this year, the best at doing that. This game's been flying by, but we made it happen.
So Vaughn Grissom with 2 on, 2 out, and didn't get that. Vaughn's 0 for 3 today. He was really excited talking to him before this series about playing in PNC Park. You know, one of those video game stadiums you see.
Oh, yeah.
Is it as cool in person as it is on TV and the like? It has been for the Braves second baseman. He's had a good series. And he's in for another treat. Brian, you know full well. Braves, Cardinals, St. Louis, both teams in a pennant race.
Yeah.
It is going to be a wild weekend.
It is, and it's going to be packed at Busch Stadium. No doubt about it.
0-2 after the pitcher-catcher meeting. And upstairs, it's 1-2. The Braves played the Cardinals very well back in Atlanta. Braves took 3 out of 4 in that series at Truist Park. But St. Louis a different team. They opened up a 5.5 game lead over Milwaukee in the National League Central. That's driven foul. Swung late. We'll try again. A ball and 2 strikes. Spencer Strider and Jose Quintana tip off the series on Friday night. First pitch 8:15 Eastern time. We'll be in the Central Time Zone. So as you join us, make sure you tune into Bally Sports at 7:30 for Braves Live.
You talk about the Cardinals, a different team. Albert Pujols is a different player. Still creeping up on 700 home runs.
He's what, 3 away from A-Rod.
Yep.
And 7 away from 700.
Amazing.
Is he going to be pulling a Tom Brady, rethinking retirement?
No doubt, especially if he's one short of 700.
He swears no. He's saying, I'm done. As this ball's hit to short. Cruz, tricky hop. And the flip to second sends us to the stretch. Atlanta is rolling. 7-0 is your score. Time for Trevor and Peter to break down the 2023 schedule. Here they are. '23. Can't wait to see where the 2022 season will take Kyle Wright and the Braves. Gotta like what he's done through 6 today. He's got a 7-0 lead and a shutout, and he is our Stats with Lowe's feature.
We talked about the 70% strikes over the last 7 coming in. He hasn't changed any of that today. 48 and 61. He has been throwing everything for strikes. Got that big lead. You want to see that from your pitchers when your offense comes through.
8 innings for Max Fried last night. Kyle Wright has 6 today. Jake Odorizzi went 6 in the opener. Charlie Morton went 6 in the finale with the Houston Astros. So the starting pitching with that breather birdie has taken advantage, has given the Braves a few more innings here and there, which means the bullpen should be rested, locked, and loaded.
Oh, they got their feet up. They're just relaxing in that bullpen right now because they see Kyle Wright just cruising along.
Speaking of bullpen, how about Max Fried bullpen before the game yesterday, Kelly?
Yeah, apparently it wasn't very good. But that's how it always goes. No, I'm kidding. He'd be so mad at me right now. But it was Trev Sarno last night who tells me, you know, he had me a little worried. I think Cranny too. And then Max went on to say, you know, I've probably been doing this long enough now after another strikeout from Kyle Wright on he rolls, but I've been doing this long enough to know that I really just need to physically feel right coming out of that bullpen, because then when I get in the game, it's just about competing. And that's the one thing Travis d'Arnaud reiterated last night that I absolutely loved, guys, right? If he throws a bad bullpen, which is what happened, he gets mad. And we know what happens when Mad Max gets mad and or someone steps on his foot, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
It's like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. he turns into Maximus.
Don't step on the foot.
And isn't that funny? As that ball is popped out of play foul, how many times have you read about a pitcher having a special game? No hitter, perfect game, double-digit strikeouts, and they say after the game, my bullpen before the game stunk. I didn't think I was getting out of the first inning.
Absolutely right. That's one of the things you learn from the older pitchers that I learned in my career when I became a starter, is that it means nothing. So even when you have a great bullpen before the game, that does not mean you're going to pitch well or have it when you get on the hill.
But there's a lot of guys that are superstitious, guys. If I had a bad batting practice, I'm sitting there in my mind saying, uh-oh, this is not a good sign. So it's important sometimes that these guys come out and have good batting practice. And pitchers, you know, they're superstitious just like we are. You want to have a good bullpen. Or is that not true for pitchers?
No, it's true. I mean, I really wanted to make sure that my slider was on, or I had a pitch that I knew that I could go to, at least one pitch. I got a little worried at times if something wasn't breaking, but as we learned from Max, what Kelly said, I was much more comfortable later in my career if I didn't have it in the pen. But you do like to see crispness on that breaking ball. And as a starter, if you struggle, generally it can be that first or second inning. So you really want to be sharp at the end of your bullpen before you get on the hill.
Wright has sent down 9 straight Pirates hitters. He has struck out 7 of them in the game. This is his 24th start. It's his 17th quality start, and the Braves have gone 17-6 when he goes to the mound. That is ace-like stuff. And I think it's time we start talking about Kyle Wright in the Cy Young conversation. I know in today's game wins are not considered fashionable because of all the metrics and the like, but at the end of the day, your team has a chance to go 18-6 when you pitch, and you've won 16 of those games. Why is that not talked about more?
Yeah, true.
No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts for Kyle Wright. Everything is working for Atlanta at the confluence of the Three Rivers in Pittsburgh. Braves on their way to a 3-game sweep. They enjoy a 7-0 lead.
The 8th, Michael Harris leading things off here. Of course, hit his 13th home run of the season in the series opener. And after the game, he said, you know, it has kind of surprised me. I think in 2 to 3 minor league seasons, I didn't have 10 home runs added up. So 13, kind of unexpected. But he did say the opposite field power guys has always been there for him. It's actually pulling the ball that he said he's done a little bit more of. It's kind of improved, if you can, in that area. But interestingly enough, to follow up on that with a few pitchers, Bertie, I'm going to let you take this away, and BJ, why we may be seeing him have that power appear more so than even in the minors. I know that pitchers at this level are certainly in the zone more, but there's a few other theories as well.
No, absolutely. And one of mine is that his highest exit velocity in the minor leagues was to left center field. And the Braves, where Kevin Seitzer asked him to do a drill, try and get the ball up in the air, we would drop his hands a little bit more. And as BJ indicated earlier today, he said, I'm taking it in a game today. And Seitzer said, wait a minute. He said, no, I'm going to do it. And he went out, and the rest is history.
Yeah. And just to go back to his minor leagues, I mean, you got a guy like Michael Harris with speed, all 5 tools. In the minor leagues, he's just trying to get to the big league. So average is important, you know, showing him the gap speed that he has. So you're really not focused on just trying to hit home runs. And then when you get to the big leagues, you're around the big league players, take batting practice, you know, that natural talent just takes over and that power just comes.
You have said, Brian, and it may sound strange, as Colin Holderman is the new pitcher. We'll talk about him in a second. You have said that it's actually easier to hit at this level for players coming up from the minor leagues, and for fans they may say, wait a minute, it's easier to hit major league pitching than minor league pitching? What do you mean by that?
Well, one, when you get to the major leagues, pitches are going to be around the plate. In the minor leagues, you don't know what you're going to get at any time because guys are so worried about velocity and they have no command, no control. So you're not going to be swinging as hard. You know, you're not going to be able to put that leg up and have that confidence that that pitch is going to be around the plate. In the big leagues, you have that confidence, so you let it go a lot more at this level, and we're seeing that.
There's a saying, it's easier to hit in the big leagues, but it's harder to get hits. Because you have a better scouting report in the big leagues, it's easier to put the bat on the ball because, as BJ said, the ball's around the plate, but you also have a better defense in the big leagues. And then you get scouted in the big leagues. Now the shift's on. So it's hard to get hits up here. But striking the ball up here can be easier. And you don't have that in A ball, that scouting report where a guy has tendencies from 5, 6, or 10-year periods.
Robbie Grossman is the hitter. He had the key at bat in this game with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Grossman hit a ground ball to first that crept under the glove of Van Meter at first base. That error led to a 5-run inning for the Braves, who now lead 7-0. Michael Harris walked against Holderman to start the 8th inning. The Pirates have walked 7 batters today and have allowed 7 hits. And make it 8 as that ball's into right field. Harris streaks around first on his way to third. He'll stop. Runners are at the corners and nobody out.
Good job by Robbie Grossman getting a pitch he can handle inside. Just getting a nice base hit here. Staying through the ball very well. And that's what Seitz is saying. Just relax and let your hands just do what it does.
Yeah.
Nice, easy flowing.
Upper body's tilted a little more too. You could see the bend in that swing.
So another chance for Ronald. He's 0 for 2 today, but he's walked twice and scored a run. Colin Holderman, the former Met. They traded Daniel Vogelbach to New York to bring this guy back, trying to build up their pitching staff in the major leagues, and with good reason. Holderman went 4-0 in relief for the Mets this year. but you can't work around leadoff walks. And the Pirates have had to deal with the Braves' patient approach at the plate today. And there's a strike.
Sometimes you go up to the plate with a man on third, no outs. You're saying this is the easiest RBI I can have. It's the toughest situation though, as a hitter. You got a tendency to try too hard.
Scorched into left field. It's an RBI hit for Acuna. His 33rd ribby of the year. Harris scores for the second time, and the Braves add their 8th run in the 8th inning, and still nobody out.
Good job by Ronald Acuna with 2 strikes. Just took a nasty curveball for strike 2. Yeah, slider running away from him.
It's a great pitch.
Yep, good pitch.
Tip your cap.
You guys said something earlier that struck me with that at bat, and that was Ronald isn't the offensive player that we know he's going to be next season. As Dansby unloads and shoots one to left, that's going to get down for a hit, and the bases will be loaded. The maturity that Acuna is showing starting August 1st in accepting what he is and knowing what he's not yet at the plate. I think that's made a world of difference for him.
And it took time, you know, as a young player. I mean, you could see the mental stress that he was going through because he wasn't that impact player that we are used to seeing. But he had to realize with the injury coming back, it's going to take time. So let's figure out how I can get it going, how I can get my average going, how I can help this team win ball games with the tools that I have. And that's what you're watching. He's taking balls, he's being patient, taking his walks, not trying too much.
On the days when he is 100%, be 100%.
Right.
On the days when you're 70%, give us 100% of 70. And I think Ronald's done that to his credit. So good for him. Nice day. He's reached base 3 times, and the Braves have him loaded for Austin Riley, who looks to clear the bags after a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
RBI hit for Riley in the Braves' 5-run 5th.
Wow, getting some MVP chance here in Pittsburgh. That's impressive.
Either that or our former colleague Jerome Jurinovich was walking down the aisle here at PNC Park. The pitch. Oh, Riley got hit. A painful RBI. And that's going to be the end of the line for Holderman, who might have hurt himself. The trainer's coming out too. Just had a meeting with the Pirates reliever. Now Holderman sprays one and nails Austin Riley, who has a 2 RBI game, and Holderman is not going to continue. Right in the hip.
Wow.
At 98.
Boy, that is going to bruise up right there. At least it was more in the belt, though. Had a little protection there.
So the Braves have a 9-0 lead. Bases are still loaded. Holderman did not retire a hitter.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
The one and only Roberto Clemente, immortalized outside PNC Park, where the Braves enjoy a 9-0 lead. This is Cam View, pride of Michigan State University. He's in a big mess. The Braves had the bases loaded and nobody out after Austin Riley just got drilled in the hip. He's in the game still at first base.
That's a painful way to get your 82nd RBI of the year.
Let's see if Olson can deliver a little more punishment for Holderman, who's given up 2 runs so far. That's got a double, a run scored, and a walk today. Via went 5-1 at AAA this year. Didn't walk many. High towering fly ball, deep right field. How far is that one going? It is a river bomb. The grandest of all grand slams for Matt Olson into the river in Pittsburgh. And all the Braves need, BJ, is the extra point.
Wow. Did not miss that pitch, guys. Talk about launch angle, Paul. Look at this launch angle right here. Curve ball. Look at the extension. Oh, man, I like the pose.
He did pose.
Oh, look at the pose.
And when you hit a grand slam into the Allegheny, yeah, you got to watch it. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. 27th home run of the year, 87th RBI.
So the best coverage in the game, the T-Mobile coverage cam, Matt Olson clears the bases. All those runs, with the exception of Olson, belong to Colin Holderman. Another giant inning for Atlanta. They have scored 6 in the 8th. They scored 5 in the 4th and lead 13-0. I said, that's how you pay back a hit batsman.
That's right.
He threw a good slider on the first pitch, and that one he just took a little bit off. Kind of funky, deceptive delivery, but Olson hits lefties well and was right on it.
His 5th career grand slam, his first since last April when he was with the Oakland A's. And it is the 3rd Braves grand slam this year. Ozzie Albies has one, d'Arnaud has one, and now Matt Olson has one.
Well, guys, I was hoping to see if Kyle Wright goes 9 innings. I don't think it's going to happen now. After another long inning offensively.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He's okay. BJ, I'm fighting for that shutout.
I'm saving bullets for September.
I'm saving bullets for September. You just came off a 10-day rest. You're feeling good. 7 shutout innings.
I don't know.
You got a whole bullpen out there waiting to pitch because they're well rested after Max Fried went 8 innings last night.
Guys, he's got 73 pitches. I'm just saying.
Good. He'll have maybe 10 extra ones against Colorado for his next start at home. As there's another hit from Contreras. He's got a 2-hit game. And he's on his way to second. He'll stand there, and still nobody out. I mean, the Braves are showing absolutely no mercy in this series.
I mean, look at the curveball, the launch angle, and this ball just travels right on into the Allegheny. Man. Splash.
There it is. Great camera work, by the way. Okay, Bally crew.
I didn't see anybody jumping in there trying to get that ball like San Francisco.
Yeah, where are the dogs?
Kayaks. So the Braves have just destroyed the Pirates in this game. 13-0, 12 hits. Eddie Rosario has singled and scored. And Olson, the 66th home run into the river here in Pittsburgh. It's been done by 45 different players. And it was a no-doubter. A grand slam here in the 8th. And he's the first Brave, we're told, ever to hit one in the river. As there's the first out. Rosario, as every hitter will, even if the score is 13-0, we'll say that was outside. And he is retired for the first out. And here's Vaughn Grissom. Here's how funny baseball is. Vaughn Grissom has scored 14 runs in 14 games. Every Brave has scored today except Vaughn Grissom.
That's the way it works out. Baseball's a funny game. But he still has a shot right here.
And looking for his first hit, trying to extend a hitting streak that's at 4 games. And up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grissom fell down as he swung so hard. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Braves bullpen is working, and it is Tyler Matzek who's getting ready. Matzek has not pitched in this series. His last work was on August 21st against the Astros. And that's the delicate balance a manager has, right? Rest versus rust. Keeping guys on turn, keeping their arm healthy first and foremost, but effective. And with this big lead, got to get some of those guys a little bit of work here in the finale against the Pirates. It's still 2-2.
What a catch. Top row, a fan leaned out over, went to his left, snagged it with 1 hand.
And Grissom takes strike 3.
A little too close to take late in the game. You're up 13-0. You got to be swinging.
Yep.
So View has a couple of strikeouts after the Olsen grand slam. That, by the way, most RBIs in the National League since June 1st. He added to that with 4 more with 1 swing here. Michael Harris has scored a couple of runs, an infield hit and a walk. That's what got him on base twice today. Braves have cashed in 7 walks, couple of errors, and 6 different Pittsburgh pitchers. And are 6 outs away from running the table against the Pirates this year. Braves will go 7-0 against Pittsburgh. Wonder when or if that's happened before. What the Braves have had their hands full, as has every team in the National League East, but outside the division the Braves have done great work. About to win their 20th game in 30 tries against the National League Central.
And that's impressive because these are the games that I hate to face guys, young guys you don't know late in the season. But the Braves have done a terrific job against teams that they're supposed to beat.
Especially after, Brian, the Mets were in town. You win that series. The Astros are in town. The team you matched up with in the World Series last year. I mean, if ever there was a trap series for a major league team, this would have been it. And the Braves to this point have passed that test with flying colors. But that illustrates what Bertie said here in the first game. These are major league players you're playing. And the great beauty of baseball is any team can beat anybody else on any given day.
In the first game here in Pittsburgh, I mean, 2-1 game. I mean, the Pirates played us tough.
6-1 last night in the Braves' favor, 13-0 today. And still, here we are. Guys like Michael Harris and Vaughn Grissom still fighting, not conceding anything in their first series on the road against the Pirates.
Look, as a hitter, you don't want to give away at bats. And in games like this, you want to take advantage.
And that missed inside. That is walk number 8 for Pittsburgh's pitching staff. And Robbie Grossman's coming up. Number 9 hitter gets 5 at bats, and it's still the 8th inning. You know you're having a good day.
And that's how the inning started, with a walk to Mike Harris.
Two runs for Robbie, 2 hits for Grossman today. He's also thrown in a stolen base. Now he'll get to hit right-handed. This may come in handy. The Braves will face a couple of left-handers in the first 2 games of that series with the Cardinals. Quintana on Friday, Montgomery on Saturday. Charlie Morton will pitch the middle game for the Braves. Jake Odorizzi and Adam Wainwright, 2 grizzled veterans, will work on Sunday night.
Big Adam Wainwright fan.
What a great guy.
Great guy. When I was with the Braves, he was in the minor leagues here. Already had that big trademark curveball.
Well, the Braves are coming into St. Louis red hot. About to go 14-2 over their last 16 games. Pop fly foul and out of play. Guillermo Heredia is in the on deck circle. He'll spell Ronald defensively for the final 2 innings and maybe get an at bat here in the 8th, certainly the 9th inning. Let's see a couple of other Braves regulars pop out of the lineup with this 13-run lead and 2 innings left. Another base hit for Grossman. He's got a 3-hit game. Harris around third. He is going to come home and score. See, that's Contreras who's going to come home and score. I beg your pardon. Harris stops at second. Heck, even I'm losing track. So many runs have scored today. It's 14-0.
Yeah, I called Shelton Derek Schiller, so thanks for making me look better.
What a day for Robbie Grossman. 3 hits, 2 left-handed, 1 right-handed.
Yep. It is a great day for Robbie. He's been really working hard on relaxing at the plate, putting in a lot of work with Kevin Seitzer. And now he's starting to see the results.
Good day for Ronald Acuna Jr., who reached base 3 times, 2 walks, a single, a couple of runs, and an RBI. Most runs scored for the Braves since April 12th when they plated 16. And this one is just foul. Great try by Heineman. He almost got that before it backspun into foul ground. And he's doing everything he can to get the Pirates out of this inning. It's the 2nd time in the game the Braves have batted around it today.
And my scorebook is looking crazy right now. Wow.
View's thrown 30 pitches. He's the 2nd pitcher of the inning. Got to respect what Guillermo Heredia is playing through. This is a Braves team with a set lineup. He seldom plays.
Yeah. With that new DH rule, it affects a lot of players.
That's hard. Look, every guy that's here is probably the best player on every team they played for. Everybody wants to play and contribute. But Heredia just keeps on keeping on, gives you quality at bats and good defense in games like this or when someone needs a day off. And his View almost threw that one to the bull. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But more importantly, gives you that energy in the dugout. Keeps guys going. And you need that in the clubhouse.
Absolutely. And it's genuine, too. It's not just when the camera's on him, which I've seen players who had a knack for that. Camera's off, it doesn't matter, in that locker room, wherever.
Oh. That's an Excedrin headache.
Why doesn't everybody use the Tyler Flowers mask?
Don't know. You'd think they would with the spring-loaded action, as that one's put away by Van Meter, and another great inning for the Braves. Atlanta sends 12 more to the plate. 2 pitchers later, Matt Olson hits a grand slam, the first Brave to hit a ball into the Allegheny River in Pittsburgh, and we are on our way with a 13-0 lead. Atlanta here in Game 3 at PNC Park. Ronald Acuna Jr. will get the rest of the afternoon off, and he'll contemplate his bat flip bobblehead day when the Marlins are in town on September 2nd. Yeah, the bat actually spins. That great giveaway is presented by our friends at Xfinity. Hope you'll join us at Truist Park as they face off with another Eastern Division rival, the Marlins, on Friday night, September 6th for Ronald Acuna Jr. Bat flip bobblehead day. Here are your changes for the Braves. Guillermo Heredia takes over in right field. Tyler Matzek will follow Kyle Wright, who was brilliant. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts.
Tyler Matzek talking to him before the game. The arm is feeling good, no pain at all, maybe a tick or 2 off with the velocity, mile an hour here or there. It's still very effective, and you guys get your weight. Adrianza in the game at short, Heredia in at center. And you were right, the non-pitchers in the booth. Kyle Wright's out.
Save the bullets.
Yep.
And give Matzek a chance to keep rolling along. Fastball seems to be getting back to where he expects it to be. And the results of late for Tyler have been very good. 5 straight scoreless outings, starting with a save on August 9th up at Fenway Park in Boston.
Paul, I remember asking you in spring training about Matzek and how he pitched so much during the playoffs last year in crucial situations. And I asked you, how have a pitcher ever come to spring training with dead arm? And we had that conversation about Matzek, and eventually it was true.
It showed up. Yeah. That certainly can affect you. You know, Smoltz used to talk about that. When you play the playoffs over and over and over again, it starts to affect your arm. And not just last year, but years before and years before, they continue to make the playoffs. That can affect the pitcher.
And the numbers bear it out, Bertie. Before Matzek went to the injured list, his ERA was uncharacteristically over 5. Since he's come back, his ERA has been more than cut in half since coming back from the injury.
And you guys asked me about his fastball and his velocity, and yes, he did come back, and it's not where we'd like to see it, but I really look at the effectiveness of a fastball, and since he's come back, even though it hasn't said 98, 99 every pitch, it's still been very, very effective. Even the breaking ball like that, he's beating the hitters, and the hitters are going to tell me how good his stuff is.
The thing that Matzek told me that he didn't have the opportunity to do in the offseason, and that's lift weights. He lifts a lot of weights, but because of the long offseason of pitching so much, they really wanted him to rest and take a break. So he was not able to lift as much weights, and you know, we saw the effects in spring training. He wasn't the same guy.
Tucupita Marcano is the Pirate hitter in the 8th inning. He's got a full count, and he pops it up. Grissom back pedals, he'll give way, and catch made for out number 1 Heredia in right field takes care of Marcano. One away, bases empty. Here's a quick word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with Tongue Torch, Zax Sauce, or any of our sauces.
Here's Josh Van Meter. He's 0 for 2. This is where Van Meter has struggled. He's only picked up 1 hit against a left-handed pitcher all year. He's 1 for 26. And Matzek is not an easy ride for a lefty or righty alike. And that finds the mark. Strike 1. That's what I like to see. It's not just the velocity, but where the ball is. He is painting corners now, ball down and in.
Also true. When your arm hurts or you can't feel your arm, one of the first things to go is command.
Fly ball right. Heredia is going to be exhausted. 2 outs. And here's Heineman, the catcher. Braves have retired 12 straight Pirate hitters in the game, including Heineman, who grounded out in the 5th inning. He walked in his first trip to the plate against Kyle Wright.
It always happens, Chip. You finally get in the ball game, and that ball's going to find you. 2 fly balls to right field. Heredia excited to be able to catch those balls.
14-0. Atlanta has the lead. Wow.
Braves came in to the game today behind the Mets by 2 games, but their run differential over the other teams overtook them last night. They're at 123 now.
Sharply hit and past Riley. That's down the line. Heineman has a base hit. That'll creep into the left field corner. That is the first Pittsburgh hit since the 4th inning, and just their 3rd of the game.
Ball was blistered down the line, just out of the reach of Austin Riley. Good effort there.
And here's O'Neill Cruz. Cruz hit a ball 122 miles an hour off the right field scoreboard for the first Pirate hit. And now he's got his hands full with the left-hander on the mound. Cruz has struck out in 38 of his 67 at-bats this year against a lefty pitcher.
I recommend breaking balls. I want to show you Austin Riley. That's my 3rd baseman right there. The score's 14-0. Smoke down the line, has little chance, and he dives after getting hit in the hip. That's my guy.
And Matzek is my guy. Keep throwing them sliders.
Yeah, Kyle Wright tried the old Henry Aaron maxim, right? Sneaking the fastball by him is like sneaking the sunrise past a rooster. Cruz hit an absolute bomb that didn't leave the ballpark, thankfully. It would have tied the game, if you recall. Instead, it was a long single, the hardest hit ball in the StatCast era at 122.4 miles an hour. Harder than Judge, Stanton, Riley, Freeman, you name them. And strike 3 ends the inning. Tyler Matzek and the Braves are rolling along. At last, we head to the 9th with a 2-touchdown lead. Three about to run the table against the Pirates here in 2022. Did you know Truist Park hosts events 365 days a year? With the holidays coming up quickly, now's the time to book the perfect space to host your group's holiday party. There are 16 different venues throughout Truist Park, and we've got a space that's sure to wow you and all of your guests. Go to Braves.com/events to see all of your options that are available. Wil Crowe is on. He will be the final pitcher for Pittsburgh today. Cam View worked an inning, gave up a couple of runs, including Matt Olson's splashdown grand slam to put a cap on this 14-0 Atlanta lead.
Good to see Adrianza back. Guy that knows his role and play a lot of different positions. Just gives you that security.
Lyman takes over for Reynolds in center field. The Pirates and Braves both traveling after the game today. Shorter trip for Pittsburgh. They go to Philadelphia. We head to St. Louis. And Ede Adrianza will bat for Dansby Swanson, who had a 2-hit, 2-run, 3 RBI day at shortstop. And the first pitch swung on and missed for Adrianza. No balls and a strike. He's looking for their biggest winning margin in a game this year. 14-0. $14 runs, 13 hits. For Atlanta, the Pirates 3 hits and 3 errors today. That one's cracked high in the air toward right. Gamble, though, will have room in the shadow of the foul pole. He'll make the play for the first out. And here is Austin Riley. 2 RBIs for Austin. The second one, as we mentioned, painful. He was hit in the hip at 98.
Good sign that he's still in the game after taking 98 to the hip. BJ said he was glad it hit him in the belt.
Yep. Saved them.
Colin Holderman, we were just told, after he hit Austin Riley, was taken out of the game. Right shoulder discomfort.
You know the thing that I love so much about Austin Riley, you don't know whether he's going good or bad. His demeanor never changes. You know, that's impressive to me.
That's why Brian Snitker kept him up early when he was struggling with breaking balls and slumping. He said, "Are you going to send him down?" He said, "No, his attitude is fantastic. It's not affecting him. He's learning him up here, and we need him."
This may seem like a stretch, and I don't mean to put this kind of pressure on Austin Riley, but he reminds me so much of Dale Murphy. Just a stoic superstar, nice guy, regular human being. Treats everybody so well. You can't help but root for a guy like Austin Riley, who's out by a step at first base. And that's the second out of the 9th inning. Again, he's a Mississippi kid, loves playing for the Braves, loves playing baseball, great family guy, new dad, huge contract, life-changing circumstances, world champion, and you walk up to him in the line at Starbucks and he's, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yep.
So refreshing.
Yep.
Talk about Dale Murphy, you know, our E&G guy down there with Kelly named Mike, and when we got here he wanted to talk about Dale Murphy. And I said, "You know what?" And he talked about meeting him. I said, "A lot of times you don't want to meet your heroes because they may blow you off and then you're disappointed." Not the case with Dale Murphy. You meet him anytime you want. He treats everybody like a friend. He'll sit and talk to you, and
big smile.
What a superstar.
Same story with Austin. He's got a big event at Top Golf in Atlanta coming up next week to help military families. A lot of his teammates are going to be participating in that. I'm sure you can find information on that online. But again, that just goes to the nature of who these guys are. They're not just living in their isolated baseball bubble. They're out trying to help other people.
Yep.
They're first in line when we need something with our Bally Sports coverage. Sure, how can we help you? It's a great, great thing, and very much appreciated, I'm sure. A ball to Matt Olson. First ever Brave to hit a homer into the river here at PNC Park.
Man, that says a lot. I'm surprised. All the good left-handed power we've had over the years.
This one is hit toward the gap in right center. Olson's going to make the turn at first. He'll head to second. Here comes the throw. It's a little late. Matt Olson has his 3rd extra base hit of the game. 2 of them doubles, giving him 39 of those on the year.
Just another double for Olson. What did I say? Last night he hit a couple of balls really hard, but didn't have anything to show for it. Day game, 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a grand slammy.
He didn't want to get on the plane.
So what a great matchup in St. Louis. Olson and Goldschmidt, Arenado and Riley. It's going to be a fun series starting Friday night at sold-out Busch Stadium. Braves will have a bit of an advantage. They'll be resting in St. Louis tomorrow. The Cardinals have a day game with the Cubs. They'll be traveling after they finish things up at Wrigley Field.
Cardinals better get it ready. Spencer Strider's going to be bringing 101.
Well, they got to get through the Cubs. Cubs are playing pretty good lately.
I'm personally hoping for 15 innings and 2 rain delays on Thursday. That's just me. As that ball's in the dirt from Will Crowe to William Contreras, who got the Braves offensive party started with a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. It was a laser to straightaway center field. Looks like Kirby Yates will get some work in the 9th inning. He tries to build his way back from Tommy John surgery. Will go an inning, 1 hit, no runs, walks, and 1 strikeout. Big day for the Braves on August 24th. And no trouble with the quick day game after night game for Atlanta today. Bounces up there. 2 balls and a strike. Let's see what the Pirates have left in the division. In the Eastern Division, that is. You know, we got the series with the Phillies. They have 6 left with the Mets. So the Pirates can impact the Eastern race. That one is fouled behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. An easy way in for Pittsburgh. They've got 6 games left with the Cardinals. They've got 2 at Yankee Stadium, the 6 with the Mets. Toronto's in the playoff hunt. Milwaukee. I mean, it's going to be a rough ride for Derek Shelton into September and the early days of October.
Oh, it'll be a great opportunity for these young guys to play spoiler.
Yeah. Hoping O'Neill Cruz hits about 4 balls onto the Shea Bridge up at Citi Field. And they play in New York in mid-September. They could stay there for a long time. They've got 3 at the Mets and 2 at the Yankees. It's kind of novel, isn't it? To stay in the same city and play both teams in each league.
How about that? Some of these young guys for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, opportunity to go to Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. That has to be an early highlight in their career.
Come on, guys. Down 14-0 in the 9th, 2 outs. You can't hold the ball and look the runner back to second. BJ, he's not going anywhere. Come on now.
Surprised Washington Nationals let him go. Crowe. We faced him earlier this year. I was like, this kid's good. It might be a good trade deadline guy for us.
Washington got Josh Bell for Will Crowe. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. And the Braves are done in the 9th inning. That was thrown with a little anger, and understandably so. All Atlanta, 14-0 your score. Has done great work today. They have seen the Pirates throw 208 pitches in 9 innings, and they have scored 14 times and have a shutout bid and a chance for some history with Kirby Yates on to finish things off. Chance for him, Paul, to continue his rebuild back from what was an all-star season a couple of years ago.
Another great pitcher, power arm. And as you said, coming back from injuries, like really good curve, little funkiness, and a great addition to an already very good Atlanta bullpen.
And he's a guy that's still trying to work toward getting that velocity back. He's normally, what, 96 mile an hour? Right now, he's at like 92, 93 consistently. Really haven't seen that 96 explosiveness out of him yet.
What's the biggest challenge, Bertie? Tommy John surgery coming back in the heat of a race like Kirby Yates is trying to join?
Yeah, we talked about it in the locker room. I showed him my scar as well. It's just, you know, you have to trust that they fixed it, and you have to be able to let it go. And if you feel a little pull or you feel some soreness, it's okay. You don't come back after surgery and it never hurts ever on any pitch. That's very rare. So you have to tell yourself mentally you're okay and work through some occasional discomfort. And then you're really waiting for that. The velocity is usually there. You're really waiting for the crispness on your breaking ball to show up. And that usually takes a little bit of time.
Kevin Newman leads off the Pirates' ninth. He is 0 for 11 in the series. Fly ball well hit left field. Grossman as far as he can go, and that breaks the shutout bid. His first homer of the year.
Two-seamer in, 93 miles an hour. Not a bad pitch. Could have been up a little bit more, but sometimes you tip your cap and you tell the other team you got to score 13 more to catch us.
So Bly Madras is the hitter. So it's a 14-1 game. And that catches a corner. Madras got the start in game 1 and went 0 for 2 with a walk. He was called up July 28th. In games like this, I would assume too, Paul, that Yates, he doesn't want to give up runs. He doesn't want to give up hits, but process over outcome.
Absolutely.
At this point. This one on the ground. Grissom will charge. And a peg to first in time. And that's got to be hard in and of itself, because at the end of the day, 1 inning, 1 earned run. That's what everybody's going to see the box score.
You never ever want to give up runs. You want to be successful every time out. Your team's going to win this game. You feel good about that. You feel good about getting your work in. But the competitive side of you never want to give up a hit. And there's some frustration when your team's throwing a shutout and you're the guy that gave up a run. But ultimately, got to get healthy and get ready to pitch big, important innings down the stretch. I want to see that too. Good changeup, action on it, down, ball fell off the table.
Braves are on their way to doing something they have never done before. That is sweep the season series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. On the ground, diving try. Grissom couldn't get it. So Gamble has a hit in 4 tries. Here comes Brian Hayes.
behind as a pitcher, these young guys are going to put it in play. And that's what the Braves have done so well today, pitching, getting ahead of hitters, making them, forcing them to hit their pitch.
Hayes has a single. He's on the IL with a bad back. And there's a strike. Two huge innings for the Braves, the 4th and the 8th today. They've scored 5 runs in the 4th inning, 7 runs in the 8th. As impressive as that is, when you add the clock time of those 2 innings together, those 2 trips to the plate, the Braves spent 48 minutes hitting. 22 minutes in the 4th inning, 26 minutes or so in the 8th. That's headed for the gap. That is going to get up against the bullpen fence. Gamble is on his way to third. They'll stop him, and the Pirates have second and third with 1 out. Homer, single, double now with 2 outs.
And that's something that you don't want to see as you come back and you rehab your way back and you're still not 100%, but you're getting there. He tells me he's 80 to 90%. You don't want to see hitters hitting your fastball, seeing it well. You want foul balls and you want to have some balls that beat them, and the Pirates are locked in on his fastball.
Well, that looked like a changeup down right there. It wasn't a change? I thought it was a changeup there.
Whatever it was.
Didn't have the velocity.
Yeah, Hayes barreled it and picks up his 19th double. Now Rodolfo Castro, who's 0 for 3.
My apologies, that red sinker. What did you see?
I saw a changeup.
Okay.
And it was a good pitch down in the zone, but Hayes is a really good hitter.
Figures to be a very happy Braves Live post game after we wrap it up. Trevor and Peter standing by in Atlanta. We'll all enjoy an off day in St. Louis and join you again Friday night. What you don't want is to have to get somebody up in the bullpen again.
Yep.
And you're getting perilously close with Yates here. He's thrown 14 pitches, 2 on, 1 out. Gets into the 20s. The inning's not over. You may have no choice. Hopefully it won't come to that. He missed badly there. 3 balls and a strike. Remember Chris Benson?
Yeah.
I do.
Former Pirate, great pitchers from Marietta. He had Tommy John surgery. He was talking with Kerry Wood one day after Kerry Wood came back from his elbow surgery. Woody asked him, what should I expect? What should I feel? Oh, you can explain this much better, I'm sure, but he said, everything comes out of my hand, it feels great, but the little nerve fibers and muscle twitches that make my baseball do what I'm expecting it to do out of my hand aren't there yet.
Yeah, and that's the spin on the breaking ball.
And I think you can see that.
That's the last to come.
Kirby from time to time. He'll throw 5 or 6 real good ones, and then every now and then it flattens out, it seems. And he walks Rodolfo Castro. That will load the bases. And Tucupita Marcano is coming up. And Jackson Stevens will indeed get up and start to play catch here.
You're talking about a guy, Kirby Yates, almost missed 2 years, right? Coming back.
That's it.
That's tough.
Double play in order if you can get the ground ball. Instead, it's a fly ball. But it'll be in the park. It'll be deep enough to bring home a second Pirate run. The Braves concede that. Marcano's 12th RBI. And Atlanta's now an out away. It's a 14-2 game. And Josh Van Meter is the hitter. He is 0 for 3. Critical error at first, opened the floodgates in the fourth, and the Braves never looked back. Behind Kyle Wright, who's on his way to his 16th win. Tony Gonsolin of the Dodgers has 16. Justin Verlander has 16 for Houston. And they're having some fun underneath the Clemente Bridge. They've got a flotilla of jet skis out there splashing around.
Looks like fun.
You wouldn't like that, BJ.
Oh, I would love it.
Probably a lot of bugs.
Well, I wouldn't love that, but I can outrun those bugs on a jet ski.
2 balls and a strike for Van Meter. Here we are, 21 pitches for Yates, facing his 7th man in the 9th inning.
I think I need to go on that Fear Factor movie show and get in the cage with a bunch of bugs to get over my fear.
That's must-see TV.
No chances I would do that, man. Wow.
I could just see you with a pile of tarantulas on top of you.
Oh my goodness, man.
No?
Wow. I used to watch that show and say, what are these people thinking? There's no way you can sit there with all the snakes squirming around you. Wow. But it's a great show. Made a lot of money.
3 balls and a strike in the bottom of the 9th inning. Perfect pitch. All right, Kirby, finish him off. Finish on a positive here. Let's get to St. Louis and our date with the Cardinals this weekend. Runners lead with 2 outs. The payoff. High fly ball. That's going to do it. Heredia is in. He's under. And the Braves make history in Pittsburgh. They win all 7 games against the Pirates this year. They blow them out 14-2, your final score. Matt Olson with some individual history too, fellas. He splashes down with a grand slam. And with the Mets idle and a Braves win, we're a game and a half back in the East, starting play on Friday.
Not just a grand slam, a couple of doubles. And this offense led by Contreras getting started with a 2-run homer. Kyle Wright, terrific and very efficient, Paul.
He was outstanding. Everybody looks really good right now. All facets of the game are clicking at the right time. Look out, Mets.
The Braves are a game and a half behind them. We'll enjoy an off day in St. Louis and celebrate Kyle Wright's league-leading 16th victory for the Braves. He's 16-5 by virtue of a 14-2 series sweeping win at PNC Park. We'll enjoy an off day and await the Cardinals. Our coverage Friday starts 7:30 Eastern on Bally Sports Southeast. Can't wait for Spencer Strider and Jose Quintana. Also can't wait for Braves Live. Trevor and Peter are standing by to wrap up a series sweep. That's coming your way next, and we'll see you Friday night.